I had a very interesting encounter with a lady on my mailing list who responded to one of my emails, and she was trying to talk to me about my music career and giving me advice about what I should do and when I'm doing wrong and things like that. It really left a really bad taste in my mouth, for one, but also I decided after that conversation that I don't too much like talking with random people about my music career and the details behind that, what success means and what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing and things like that, because random people don't understand, and it's often a very unsatisfying experience. So I don't like doing it. And I'm sure you can relate as well if you're a musician. Hi, I'm Anitra J from the Crafty Musician blog. I post weekly videos right here on YouTube helping musicians build a fan base and make money with music. Today we're going to talk about why it's not always fun having conversations with random people about your music career, and what you can do to change the topic, flip the conversation, and or make the conversation more satisfying. Stay tuned. If you want to learn more DIY hacks for your music career, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be personally notified every time we upload a new video. So let me tell you what happened. After our shows, we have this routine where we kind of decompress, and I thought it would be really cool to show my audience and my followers, people on my mailing list, what we do after each show. So we just recorded our decompression routine, and a part of that routine is getting the tip jar, counting the money, and determining how much money we made in tips that night. So we had a show at a hotel lobby, and we had a guarantee. So I mean, our expenses, everything was covered. We had a profit from the show. So any tip money we got was just extra pocket money. So it's just fun to get into that tip jar and find out how much money we made. So that night we made about $20. Not a lot of money. The people, let me tell you, the people at this hotel don't tip. Typically, people at hotels, they're not gonna tip you that much, first of all, because they weren't planning on coming to a show. They're traveling, and they don't typically have tip money to just leave at at a show they didn't plan on coming to. A show at a hotel lobby is spontaneous. It's not really something that people are planning on coming, so they might not even have tip money in their pocket to give. Whatever. People at hotels don't really tip, so we weren't expecting anything, and I explained this in my email. So I sent out an email and I shared this video with my mailing list subscribers, and I explained all of that. Okay, so we get into the tip jar, we count our money, and we ended up with $20. And it wasn't like, it was, I was excited because $20, that's a pretty big deal at this particular hotel. Anyway, long story short, I sent the video to my mailing list, and so this lady responds and she goes, well, if you're trying to be a musician, I suggest having Rob. So Rob is my husband. Backstory, my husband and I, we perform as a duo, and so we're full-time musicians. So anyway, so she says, I would suggest that Rob get a full-time job with full-time employment benefits, and you do your music on the side, and whenever you catch a break, then you can quit your job. I'm like, bump this. Who do you think you are telling me what I should be doing? First of all, we're already full-time. We have plenty of benefits. We've got insurance. We've got retirement money down pat. Please don't try to tell me how to run. I'm not telling you how to run. So anyway, I got really upset. Really upset. And I responded to her. I mean, I tried to be graceful and everything, but man, we talked about society. We talked about what a real job is, what real job stability really means, that none of us are really safe in what we think we're doing, and also success means something different to you than it does to me. You're not in the industry, you don't know what you're talking about. So I tried to explain all that to her, and she was not getting it. First of all, she just didn't. She's a random. Like, a random is someone who's not in the industry. They don't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're talking about. They're comparing your success and your trajectory to the Beyoncés, the Cardi B's, the Drakes and everything. That's a different facet of the music industry. Now, if you agree with this, leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. But I've basically come up with my own theory about the two music industries. Okay, so there are two music industries. The first music industry is the mainstream industry, where you have your mainstream record companies, record labels, the radio station. You're getting placed on blockbuster movies, you're on commercials, and you're doing the thing. You're winning Grammys and all that stuff. That's mainstream. That's your Ed Sheeran's, your Billie Eilish. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. Your Drakes, your Nicki Minaj's, your Cardi B's. That's the mainstream. But there's another music industry that is for us, the independent musicians. We are on local radio, we're doing local gigs, we're doing tours, regional tours. We might go overseas and do a tour here and there. We're making money from weddings, from being on playlists, local playlists. We're making money from music lessons. We're making money from small private gigs. We are making money from sync licensing on TV shows here and there. That's the independent musician scene. Very different from mainstream music. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you agree with this. But when you talk to random people, they try to put you on the mainstream path. That's only for certain individuals. Not everybody can be on the mainstream path, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. You can be a successful musician without doing all that mainstream stuff. And most random people don't realize this. So when you're talking to them, they're trying to compare your success to the success of those mainstream artists. They're not going to get it. And so that's why I don't like talking to people who are like that, because they have the wrong mindset. And that mindset can rub off on you if you're not careful. Have you thinking that you're not successful and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing when they don't even know what they're talking about. Here's a pro tip. Don't take advice from these people. Try not to talk to these people. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about why that's not productive to talk to these kinds of people and have these kinds of conversations. We're going to talk about what you can do instead. You want to stay away from these types of conversations because, like I said earlier, this is not going to be healthy for having a solid mindset. You have to make sure that you have a solid, healthy mindset when you're trying to pursue a career in music, because it's artistic, it's creative, you're putting yourself out there. It can be really depressing and detrimental when you're getting all this rejection, you're getting all these disappointments, and you really have to protect your mindset. But when you're talking to random people who don't know what they're talking about, it can really rub off on you and have you thinking that you're not being successful. So it's just not it's not worth it in the end. Secondly, these people tend to give you really bad advice. They don't know what they're talking about. And so they'll tell you things like, oh, have you tried auditioning for this TV singing competition? You know, there are a lot of TV singing competitions out there, and they want you to get on to these TV shows. They want you to get on Sirius or get on these Spotify playlists, or just like random stuff that, if you were to audition and make your way to a TV singing competition, that's great, that's awesome, but it also can be a waste of time and a pain in the butt to try and get on that circuit. It's a lot of work that goes into that. Work, time, money, effort, energy that you're putting off into that may or may not happen, but all that investment you could have been putting into building your own movement, building your own fan base and following, and building that up to build your empire. And that is really the way independent musicians operate, is building their own empire. So if you go on TV, go on all these auditions and try to get on all these radio stations and Spotify playlists, and you do that, what's that going to do for you? Because you still have to build your following at the end of the day, because these TV shows, they're not really focused on helping you build your career. They're focused on getting ratings, right? So these ideas and these tips and this advice is really not going to be productive for you actually building a career. And that's what the type of advice that these people trying to give you. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this in this video. They don't know what they're talking about. So you have to keep that in mind when you're talking to these people. So what can you do instead? And this conversation comes right on time because it's the holiday season. We're going to be at the table with a random Uncle Joe, and he is going to ask you, oh, how's the music going? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And tell you all this dumb advice and just make you feel really down about yourself. And so what you should do is try to flip the conversation, get him talking about himself, get that person talking about their career and their aspirations and what they want to do. So it could sound something like this. Well, Uncle Joe, I am leaning towards certain methods in my music career, and if I need help then or advice, then I'll let you know. But what is going on with your career? How are things going at random company? Did you get that promotion? And talk about his industry. So you flip the conversation and start talking about them. So what that does is it subtly tells them, leave me the hell alone. And also it tells them to stop asking me, stop trying to give me advice and stop asking me about my stuff. Let's talk about you and your stuff. Okay, so that's a great way to flip the conversation and have them start talking about, people love talking about themselves, especially this person who's trying to tell you what to do about your life and your career. 9 times out of 10, this person is going to love talking about themselves. So get them talking about themselves, get that ball rolling, so that way it gets the pressure off you. Now, if that doesn't work, you could say something like, well, Uncle Joe, I am just having a lot of fun right now. I don't know where it's going to lead, but for right now, this is what I'm doing, and I'm really happy with that. And that's what we all should be striving for, right? Being happy in life. What kind of things do you do to have fun? And that's another way of saying, shut the hell up, stop talking to me about my stuff, and let's change the subject. But it's more overt, and it helps you to get the point across that, hey, we're not talking about this right now. We're going to just be having fun. One other thing you can do is have a list already prepared in your head about your accolades and your recent wins for your career. Let's say you had an interview in the local paper or a magazine. Let's say you got featured somewhere. Let's say you just published your album and album sales are doing well. Let's say you created a new merchandise item and you're really excited about it. You put it in your store and people are buying it. Whatever latest accolades you have a list of those in your mind so you can be prepared to talk about the good things in your career and what you're doing that brings success to your career and your trajectory. And that'll be something great to discuss and talk about if the conversation does happen to go that route. The main thing you want to focus on here is protecting your mindset. Your mindset lays the foundation to the success of your career, and whether or not other people in your family get behind it, or other friends or whoever you're talking to, whether or not they get behind it, that's on them. What you need to focus on is making sure that you believe in yourself, that you're okay with what you're doing, and that you are investing in yourself. And a part of that is making sure you have the right mindset and protecting that. And so I would like to challenge you to make a list of all the things you like about yourself, all the things you like about what you're doing, and focus on that. Focus on prepping your mind to be positive, to have a harmonious, positive outlook on what you're doing, and have a mindset of gratitude and patience and kindness to yourself. This lifestyle is hard. It's not easy. I mean, I would even go as far as saying that being an independent musician is much harder than having a corporate job, because all the responsibility is on you. You don't have coworkers to hide behind and lean on. You don't have bosses and supervisors to lean on. You don't have the owner of the company who's taking on all of the responsibility of making a profit. All of that is on you. You're wearing the business hat, the marketing hat, the tax hat, the income and finances hat, and the creative hat. All of that is on you. It's hard. It can be really difficult. And that's just talking about the logistics, not to mention all of the emotional and mental challenges that come along with being an artist. So your mindset is pivotal in making sure that you have a successful career, it's satisfying, and you're happy with yourself. Speaking of mindset, I am personally inviting you to a 5-day workshop that I am hosting, where we're going to be talking about your mindset. It is the 5-day Mindset Makeover Challenge to manifest your creative dreams as a musician. We're going to be talking about those emotional struggles, those mental challenges, and how to overcome them. We're going to talk about how to promote a mindset of positivity, of gratitude, of patience, and how to promote an atmosphere of success, and where you can start with that. We're also going to put together a blueprint customized for what you can do to move the needle in your career and experience your own success. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would love to have you participate in the 5-day Mindset Makeover Challenge. I am leaving a link in the description box down below where you can join. It's completely free. And we will start on Monday, January 3rd, and we're going to go the entire week until Friday, January 7th, where we're going to challenge your mindset. And ultimately, what we're going to do is shift our mindset and set our intention for 2022, and make sure that we are in the right atmosphere to create success for ourselves. So that sounds good to you? Please join me and click on the link down below in the description box and grab your seat. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time. Keep it crafty.
Head on over to thecraftymusician.com for more tips and tricks to level up your music career. Talk to you soon.